The top 10 unsettling astronaut discoveries that made them quit NASA. Robin Kulin was an astronaut in training at NASA and was in a special 2-year program. He outbeat 18,300 applicants and had several years of schooling. Robin more than likely did not quit NASA for personal reasons. We need to get the internet detectives on this case. Did he find out a secret that disturbed him so much that he had to quit? Did he discover that they are really keeping aliens at Area 51? Who knows? My vote is for the latter. Mayday, not specifically NASA, but an interesting story to note from another very awesome astronaut, discovered that her journey home from space would be far from smooth. She discovered that she was veering off course, which as you can imagine was completely terrifying even though spaceships tend to be slightly off course most of the time. They did land safely, hooray, but they landed 260 miles off course. In our number 8 spot, we have black holes. Black holes are among the oddest and most fascinating things in space. They're so dense and have such a tremendous gravitational pull that not even light can escape. One of the first black holes was identified in the Milky Way in 1964. Cygnus 1. NASA and Space.com report that a sounding rocket detected celestial sources of X-rays in 1971. Astronomers determined that the X-rays were coming from a bright blue star orbiting a strange dark object. It was suggested that the detected X-rays were a result of stellar material being stripped away from the bright star and gobbled up by the dark object, an all-consuming black hole. Yeah, that's not terrifying. I would probably quit after learning this. In our number 7 spot, we have aliens. There has been an increasing number of aerial phenomena, as NASA puts it, otherwise known as UFOs, in the last while, and so NASA has announced the assemblage of a team of scientists that will be examining this phenomenon. Hooray! NASA said the focus will be on identifying available data, which is the best way to gather future data, and how it can use this information to advance scientific understanding of the issue. At the very least, they admit that aliens may exist, and all conspiracy theorists around the world can point to the people who dismissed all of the evidence presented to them. At our number 6 spot, we have space music. This is allegedly from the Apollo 10 mission to space. The astronauts were checking out various equipment to see what would work in space. Of course, the stakes were high because they were actually in space, and who knows if the equipment might blow up or whatnot. But apparently when they put on headphones connected to a speaker they were testing, they heard a strange whistling sound. They were so amused and a little unsettled by this strange music that they later called it. Coming in at number 5, the space fire reportedly happened as astronaut Jerry Leininger was eating dinner on the Mir space station. Leininger said, quote, "It was a hot fire burning out of control. Apparently, the fire was blocking one of the Soyuz ships that the team would have had to board in order to evacuate, so had they not put the fire out, somebody would have been left behind. Well, that's a little unsettling. Thankfully, they did." Hearing this, it should come as no surprise that the bodies of the dog and monkey can be seen floating in space. Imagine seeing that and then having to continue doing what you're doing. My heart hurts. In our number 3 spot, we have shiny objects. This story is slightly unsettling, but also kind of makes you excited for future astronaut discoveries. NASA astronaut Alan Bean claims he saw a shiny object on the moon. When asked to describe it, he said it looked like shoe leather. You usually assume that anything from outer space is gray or black, so hearing that there's something shiny on the moon is really interesting. The rainbow fish adored that book, but could this be the moon's version of a diamond? They're watching us. And in number 2, when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon in 1969, it is said that during those 2 minutes, there was a secret message to NASA that said, "Those babies were huge, sir, enormous. Oh God, you won't believe it. They're on the moon watching us." Okay, well, I'm now a believer in the fact that I'm sure they did not lose transmission, and that NASA only said that so that the general employees and people watching could not hear. Finally, in our number 1 spot, we have a fleet of UFOs. Apparently, astronaut Gordon Cooper witnessed the most crazy thing in human history. In my opinion, proof that our future could potentially be Star Wars in real life. He saw a fleet of UFOs. What's wild is that about 10 years later, he bore witness to another UFO. Apparently, in 1963, a UFO flew towards him. Apparently, it was picked up on a radar too, which confirms the proof of existence and Gordon's story true. I witnessed a floating light in the sky zoom away at lightning speed, so I'm quite convinced I've seen a UFO. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed and want to see more like this, please be sure to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments which one was your favorite.